What's up YouTube, Deaddraw here, bringing a video today. Today, I want to do the deck I will be playing for the World Championship event. So if you guys don't know what's going on, OTS stores all across the world, I guess, will be hosting special events where you play with the World's Banlist on the same weekend as Worlds, and then there's special prizing and stuff like that. If you haven't heard of it, then you most likely aren't getting one. But I thought, hey, let's post a deck profile to help some people out, to show you guys what I'll be playing, or most likely be playing. There's some edits. I still have to do some testing to come, but this is like a very close build that I'll be playing, and I'll explain deck choices, and a lot of it is just going to be self-explanatory. I'm playing it because I have to, or I only can play a certain amount of them, but yeah, with that being said, we'll kind of get into this. So obviously we play Trickstar Candina at 3 because she is broken. And then we're still only playing 2 Licorice, and we're still not playing Desires in this deck, so still only 2 Licorice. Even though you do lack some search power, it doesn't really matter. You always kind of want to search with the Candina anyway, so it ends up not really being that big of a deal. And then 1 Laybell still, kind of your standard Trickstar lineup, what it's kind of turned into. And then we are playing 3 Droll because Droll is definitely the best hand trap. Right now, this just ends turns, so you have to play 3. Then double Ash Blossom because obviously it is semi-limited for Worlds, so we will be playing only 2 of them. That's kind of what's going on there. And then, since we are playing a bit different, we have to play 2 Ghost Ogres. And the reason why I think Ghost Ogre being main rate for this list is because Goki is going to be such a strong deck for this list. It's just going to be absolutely nuts. So being able to hit Goki, but you also don't want to see this too much if you don't play Goki. That's the other reasoning by only playing 2. So 2 Ghost Ogre is what I am playing. Then we do play the Mech Knight engine still, just the 4, so 2 purple, 1 blue, 1 indigo. I do really like this engine. I think this engine really helps this deck with making link plays. That's the real, like, I think these cards are good for beaters, but I don't think that's the real use out of them. I think the real use is having a bit of beat sticks that self-replace, but also can also easily link summon and help you make link monsters. Even though Boral Sword isn't legal for this event, in testing, these cards like help me make Boral Sword so often and win. It's just absolutely nuts. Okay, and then we actually are playing a Sky Striker engine. So we are going to be playing 3 Mobilize Engage. I think this engine is still really strong, and it does help Trickstars though. I don't think the deck's very good without it, honestly. Not in this format, so I think you still need to play it, even though Hornet Drones is at 1, which is the next one. We play 1 Hornet Drones, and we actually play a bunch of 1-ofs. We also play 1 Widowmaker, 1 Afterburners, and 1 Jamming Ways. The reason we're playing so many other ones is just due to the fact that we need to be able to search off Engage. You want to plus off Engage, so we play all the different ones. I was debating on playing Eagle Booster, but I think that it just wouldn't come up enough in this format. In Trickstar specifically. So those are those engines. And we'll move on next here. So we are going to still play 3 Called by the Grave because we don't want to be hand trapped, especially when you're less resourced. If your terraforming gets ashed, it really sucks. I still think 3 Called by the Grave is a good choice. I do think this card's actually really good against Goki too when you go first. So I think this card's just overall really good. And then, obviously, we play our 2 Scapegoats, because it is semi-limited for this. But I think Scapegoat at 2 is still really nice. It's like, doesn't make that big of a difference. You just don't see it quite as much. But it is what it is. 3 Light Stage, of course. This card's at 3. You're going to play it. It helps your engine. And then 1 Terraforming. And then we actually play a bit of traps in this, and I'll give my reasonings. I think going first is you kind of have to win a lot of dice rolls to actually do really well with this deck. But obviously we play 1 Reincarnation. Reincarnation is limited for this list, so that's important. Then we play 2 Impermanence. This is more Goki hate, so we are playing a bunch of hand traps that really help against that deck. So this is more Goki hate. I probably would play 3 if I owned 3, but I do not. And then a little choice here is 3 Tarantulas. So the reason we're playing 3 Torrential is just the fact that it's super good in the like for this meta for the Goki. It's just super strong. It's if you go first and you have this, you can really wipe their boards. Even if you draw 2 of them, you can just wipe their board twice and they really can't play. And then we play 1 Solemn Judgment. Solemn Judgment is really powerful in this format. It can just, it can negate summons and it can negate a spell and trap. So it's just super good. Self-explanatory there. Also, to mention, some people may say, well, hey, you don't want to play these cards because the time rules. For this event, even our local OTSs will have to be playing by the old time rules. That is the rules for the Worlds. So the old time rules are going to be in effect. So these cards aren't as bad in time as they used to be. Now, we'll move on to the extra deck. So we play 2 Kagari. Super good. Obviously, 1 Shizuku. I don't believe Hayate is actually legal for this event. Any cards from Cybernetic Horizon are not legal, so we cannot play Hayate, I would assume. Which is kind of weird. Anything that's released after July 26th is actually just like not legal. It's just really strange to me. This list is, kind of iffy. Then we play 1 Link Spider, 1 Link Rebo for our Scapegoat tokens. Just helps us overall in general. Then we're playing 1 Space Insulator since Hayate is not legal. We are playing 1 Nightmare Mermaid because you do not want to be locked. And this also just gives you a space if you end up making a Nightmare Link. This gives you a down arrow as well, so it's pretty good. Then we play 1 Cerberus, 1 Phoenix, 1 Goblin, and 1 Unicorn. Kind of straightforward, usual. And then for our Link 4s, we play 1 Scaldred Saryuja, 1 Borlo Dragon, 1 Firewall Dragon, and 1 Topologic Bomber Dragon. You guys could feel free to cut Saryuja if you'd like. Making Saryuja first turn isn't that great. Plus, it becomes a lot less consistent with Hornet Drones being to 1. But it's still overall a good card to have mid-game. So if you guys would like to go with that, go with that. Alright, so for the side deck, we will go 3 Winged Dragon Raw Sphere Mode, Goki Hate, pretty self-explanatory. 2 Honest, I think this kind of goes in for Carobine not being legal for this tournament. And pretty much what this will allow is you to be able to get over monsters when you're not able to in other ways. The last Ghost Ogre, just in case you are playing Gokis and you know you're going to be going second, add this in, it's going to help you out a lot. Then we play 3 Shared Rides, kind of self-explanatory, very good deck card. 3 Twin Twisters, this is just for any Altergeists, because there are going to be a decent amount of Altergeists, I would assume. And honestly, this card's pretty good against Pierce Skyscraper, which is a viable deck for this format as well. So that's what I'm siding for those. And then we are playing a Solemn package of 1 Warning and 2 Strike. That's because like I said, guys, like the time rules just aren't in effect, so these cards are really good. When you know you're going to second, you can actually get rid of some of your hand traps. I mean, when you know you're going first, you can get rid of some of your hand traps and put these in instead. And they just sometimes become a lot more powerful. They do a lot more for you than some of the, like Droll and Lockbird would. I don't know, Droll and Lockbird's pretty good, but they do a lot more for you than Ash Blossom would, for example. So yeah.